What's up guys, Bryce here, and we're back at it again for another video. And in this video we have a awesome radical race at Watkins Glen. We are just about to get underway here. I qualified in P12, so yeah, my start was pretty horrible. This is my first ever start in the radical, and let me just say it is a awesome car. First ever race with the radicals. We'll have to doing a bit of practice. Started 12th place, dropped down a few positions at the start. And going into the first corner, we got a pretty good run. And going up the hill, we're already making a position back on the right-hand side, but just not quite yet. The slipstream in these cars are insane. You can get a whole lot of drag from just staying behind them. And it's just a slipstream to the boot section at Watkins Glen. This race was really intense, and it's a really enjoyable car to drive, but very tricky, very agile, nimble, and very twitchy. So we're going to try to get past these cars as soon as we can. My qualifying lap wasn't that good, but I knew that my race pace was going to be great. And going through this right-hander here, a bunch of accidents going on, and we tap this guy and he goes into the wall. And we also gained a few positions there. Slowed down a bit, and the car just kind of stuck, and I basically accidentally put him to the wall. Did not mean to do that. Going into this corner here, we could have possibly went on the outside, but we decided to take a late apex, and we get him back just by cutting back there. He's on the left-hand side of us right now, and we're side by side, but I do pull out in front. But this is going to be really tricky here because he could potentially go down the inside, so I try to cover that line just a bit, but he's not close enough. Trying to get a late apex is super key here. We'll need to clear a few more cars if we want to do decent in this race, and we take a bit of an inside line. I wasn't committed too much there. It's just the first lap and a bit of oversteer, and that will set our pace down just a little bit. A lot of tire smoke there. That's something they added in the update. I think looks pretty good. And again, using all the track on the right hand side and using all the track on the left and coming back to the right, and someone is off there, and you can see everyone's just following each other for the slipstream like a snake. And we pass this guy on the left hand side, but he actually is carrying a bit of speed, so he's right there on the left, and he goes into the rear of us, and that gives us a bit of oversteer, and now we can pass this guy on the inside. I gained a bit of speed there, and you can actually use the runoff quite a lot there, but we're carrying just a little bit more speed than he is, and we're going to stay behind him for this long straight. We're going to try to pass him going into the boot section, but there's someone behind me who's slipstreaming as well, who's actually getting really close. So pretty much what we do is we move to the inside, but he's still behind us, and going into the boot, we go side by side in here, but he's still there, and he finally moves behind, and that is another position for us. That was a pretty risky move going to that corner. He's still there, but we managed to pull away. It's really hard to describe how this car feels. It's like a F1 car almost. It's super lightweight. It's super twitchy. You need to get late apexes on this track, but still carry good speed going to the corners. If you look behind us, he was taking a little bit of a tighter line than us, but we were able to pull away on the exits of the corners, and we carried all this speed till the end. And currently I believe we're in 7th place, but there's 3 guys in front of us who are battling it out. So my hope is that we can continue to basically stay close to these guys, so if they start fighting more, we can catch up as soon as we can. This is my first iRacing race in the radical. It definitely is a while to get used to it, and iRacing doesn't like 100% braking either, so you have to learn to really be gentle with the brakes. But this is an awesome car, and I can't wait to do more races. And if you do enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe for more content like this. We had a successful first 2 laps. We moved up a bunch of places after a poor start. A start is definitely what I need to work on with these cars. Bring it to 200 and getting a late apex again, using all the runoff there. And now we're on lap 4, and we're still behind these guys, but we're a bit closer. We managed to kind of close the gap a bit, and they're definitely battling it out going up this right and left-hander. It's almost like Eau Rouge. It kind of reminds me of it just a little bit. Going up, the Spa corners, and now they're battling it out. I believe this is when they went 3 wide going into this boot here. They were 3 wide. I almost knew, I predicted that they were going to crash, but they did not. But these guys are going side by side, and as you can see, the car on the right gets slowed down a lot, but we didn't want to make anything too risky. We're super close here, but we still just want to be conservative and not make anything too risky. We're going to stay behind him here. I could have went for a move down the inside, but instead we stay directly behind him, trying to pile on as much pressure as we can to this car in front. And as you can see, he's super close. We get a good run here. He slows down just a little bit. We move to the inside, and we go down the inside for this right-hander. He's still there, and we keep as tight of a line as we can. The last thing I want to do is lose the car or hit him but he's still there, and he was able to pull away. He had a bit more track, so he was able to get a better exit here. And we almost go down the inside there. Want to put the pressure, a bit of oversteer, which allows the car behind to catch up just a little bit more. I don't want to waste too much time on this car. I want to be able to pass him as soon as I can. We take a little bit of tight line. You got to really be careful with those curbs. The car is so low to the ground that you really have to be careful, and it's an extremely fast car as well. This corner is almost flat out, and you want to use all of that runoff on the right. Then you move back to the left and downshift just one gear, possibly two, and that will allow you to get a good exit. Use the curb on the left-hand side, and now really what we need to focus on is getting a really good exit onto this straight coming up here, braking at the 200, trying to get a late apex just as we did there, using all the track on the left hand side. You can go that wide, but you do have to be a bit careful when you go that wide there. And now we're carrying all of this speed up this hill here, and as you can see, there's a car in front of him as well, so he's gonna get the slipstream, but we need to do our best to try to pass him. But if he passes him, that's not good, because he's the car we want. He moves to the inside, and he goes down into this corner, and he gets the move done, which means that we're basically going to be slowed down by this car in front. So now we need to do everything we can just to try to pass one car at least, because that's basically the goal, to try to pass these guys so we can move in front. And just to the end of the lap there, a bit of oversteer, and we need to pass them quickly and efficiently. We haven't done too much here. The car behind is still there going on this straight. We are pretty close to him, just about half a second maybe, and we need to use all of the track possible. He goes really slow to that corner. He goes in the grass, gets oversteer, and I thought he was going to hit that wall and kind of ricochet off back at me, but he didn't, and we get the move done, and we're into 8th place. And yeah, it was a pretty crazy lap, actually 7th place, and taking that inside curb there, but the car in front goes super wide, and this allows us to get a good run onto this right left up this huge hill, this huge straight, which is a great overtaking opportunity. The car behind us though got a really good exit with the slipstream, so now we're trying to pass someone. As we're being passed, he makes a move, but we move to the inside, which allows him to get that slipstream, but we're slowly gaining on this guy, and we go down the inside into the boot section, and we get the move done. And that was really intense. That was a really intense pass and a really intense race, because even once you pass him, you're still always on the limit with this car. One tiny mistake could really cost it, and you really have to be super smooth. And then the car behind us, the red car, did pass that white car, so we knew that maybe he could potentially catch up to us, but we're trying to pull a gap here because they're fighting, and we've already pulled about a second. Now we're on lap 14 of 16, 2 laps to go, 5th place. I thought this is where I was going to end the race, but it's not over yet. I kept it consistent. I pulled about 2 seconds from the guys behind, and there's smoke in front, and I was wondering what is going on. We pass another car on the right hand side, and that puts us into 4th place, and now we need to pull away and just try to really pull a gap from this car behind, because if he was up there, he was probably fast. And I knew some of these guys had around 4,000 hour rating, especially in the top 3, so I needed to pull away from this dude because he could potentially catch up to us, but he did end up spinning out in one of these corners. As you can see in the rearview mirror, he lost control of the car, so now we're basically free, and we need to do everything we can. White flag, final lap of the race, from 12th all the way to 5th place, I believe, 5th or 4th place, and it was just a crazy, eventful race. The beginning of the race, I was able to get a lot of passes in, and I was really happy about that. And going through this last lap here, I don't know if the tires were a little bit worn or the car, maybe I just lost a bit of focus, but they did start to catch up just a little bit, and at the end of the lap they were extremely close. This right-hander is banked. You have to be very careful. Try to get a late apex as smooth as you can with the throttle and the brake, and even if you look at my brake application, I'm not using that much. I basically never go to 100% because you can really lose the rear end, especially since I'm using a very low brake bias. I'm using 50 brake bias, and the default is 54.5. So using 50 brake bias, and I raised it up during this race to 50.5, so that gave me a little bit more brake bias. Being super smooth is key, like I said before, and going through this left-hander, just lift a tiny bit and use all the track on the right-hand side. And going through the last corner, we felt super relieved after I crossed that line. It was like a weight dropped off my shoulders, and it was a pretty long race. It was around half an hour because there's 16 laps. And there we go. We finished the race in a solid 5th place, and I'm pretty proud of myself for that, considering we started in 12th. And yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy that video. If you did, leave a like down below. If you want more content like this, make sure to subscribe. And I'll be posting more iRacing videos in this Radical. And yeah, I don't have anything much else to say. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye-bye.